Welcome back, guys, to lesson number 2 from the shed. Today we're going to look at some model making techniques using card so that you can try and do the same thing at home. So I'm going to demonstrate some ideas based on the sketches we did last time, ways of working with card with glue, without glue, with a craft knife, with scissors, so it's stuff that you can do at home, hopefully, depending on whatever you've got, if you haven't got a plethora of tools behind you. Yeah. Feel free to post examples of what you've done on our group message, and then we can show everyone else and hopefully inspire some people. Cheers. Right, so I'm going to start making some models now. The materials I'm using are a Sharpie, just so you can actually see what I'm drawing. I would normally use a pencil. Stanley knife, nice sharp Stanley knife, but you could use scissors. Masking tape, which I may use, and a glue gun. But I'm going to try and do things that don't necessarily use the glue gun or the masking tape, and just focus on card that could be done with card or scissors and a knife. So this is just normal corrugated card. So if you get any deliveries or you've got any boxes, cut them up. You can use thinner card, you just have to adjust the thickness you work to. So I'm going to start off by cutting this in half with a safety ruler. And my craft knife. You do it in about 2 passes really. And obviously I'm working on the cutting mat, but you could use anything that your parents or you deem to be suitable to not damage your table. But really, the cutting mat's really good because it's really absorbent. Right, now I'm going to think about doing some interlocking joints here. So I should draw a line there because it's not really straight. There's my 2 pieces. Now I'm going to go halfway down one piece. It's 95. And then I'm going to use the card so I can get the width right. So I'm going to measure the width of the card. And it's 7mm. And I'm just going to do a 7mm channel down there. I shouldn't have drawn the line all the way across the card really because it look a bit messy, but I'm going to decorate this anyway. Part 1. And I'm going to do the same on the other part. Right, so now I've got both the pieces. I'm going to cut them out. Remember to cut towards yourself, but with your fingers out the way. I'm just going to rip out that bit there. There you go. Good thing about working with corrugated card. Okay, so what you'll see now is that those 2 pieces can interlock, and that can open up a whole load of different ideas of how we can construct items that will support the phone and how the shapes can interlock together. So I've been playing around with different shapes, and at the moment I've got this strange contraption. Obviously the phone would sit on there. It's evocative of sort of like a deck chair design, but it's also got a lot of those Memphis shapes going on. And if you imagine, if we have all the different colours on there and patterns, that's going to really look quite in keeping with the design style we're going for. To break it down sort of in terms of its structure, I started off with the basic shape of the 2 interlocking shapes like that. And then I've added in the circle at the top just for aesthetics, so it looks more interesting, but that could turn into a headphone wrap or something like that. It's actually only attached in 1 cut, so you can reposition it to give you more options of the design and function. Obviously that way is getting in the way of the phone, so probably more up there. These pieces were functional. If you can see, it would sit at an angle like that for the phone, which is not ideal for a phone position anyway, but also it means that the whole thing was too back heavy, it was going to fall over. So by adding in these triangles, again, they look very Memphis, but if they slide in, they can add more security to the design in terms of how strong it is, but they also can mean you can adjust the angle. Now, this kind of design would transfer perfectly to a laser cut piece of work, and if you have 2D design at home or a similar CAD program, if you set your grid to 3mm, you can start to draw out those pieces, and they can be laser cut at a future date for potential prototypes for projects we do in school. So I'm just going to finish this up with a bit of colour, and we'll see how it looks. So if you want to guilt trip your parents into buying you anything over the next few weeks to say it's for education, I'd really recommend getting some of these pens or similar paint pens. I actually stole these from my son, so I know that they go down well. But they'll draw on pretty much anything. You can use them for fabric design. As long as you iron them afterwards, you can use them to design your own skateboard deck, which is what we bought them for my son, and then you lacquer them afterwards. But you can use them on stones and card and anything. They just give a really satisfying colour to your work. So I'm just going to add a bit of colour now, based on the research that I looked at on the mood board. Right, so my first prototype is now done. You'll notice it looks nothing like what I drew in the first lesson. That doesn't matter. The design's just evolved, and this is one idea. I'm going to make some more ideas. I'd encourage you to make several models, but the basic expectation for this lesson is that you design and make at least one. Yeah, you could decorate them, or you could just work on various different iterations of the idea. You'll see that it functions, does the job it's supposed to do, yeah, and that will work well when sat down flat on a desk. I'm going to think about this donut looking piece here and what I could do to improve that and make that something that's actually of a function. But there you go, finish it off, make one, post a picture to our group and let me know how you get on. Cheers!